Welcome everyone to this week's Life Conversations with a Twist. I'm very honored to have Tally here. We actually just met. We've been back and forth trying to make this podcast happen, and I'm so glad and honored for you to want to be on this podcast, want to share your story. I love meeting people with this podcast platform. I've met people from all over the world, which has been super special for me. And it's just so unique to hear everyone's stories and how they got to where they are. And I think what I love about this podcast and people sharing their story is they've learned so much and they've been through hard times, but they've overcome that. And so that's really, these are the stories that I love sharing. So welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's just, I was looking so much forward for it.
And you're coming from England. It's so crazy how I just been matched with people all over. But you're in from England.
Yes,
What's
yes.
weather like over there right
London,
now?
London, I can watch the river from my window, and it's a big inspiration for my music, for my well-being is the river,
I love
showing us that everything is flowing and we need to flow like the river.
I love that. Tell the listeners a little bit about who you are currently, kind of what you're working on. And then I always love to dive into your story from the beginning and what got you to this point.
Yeah, so I'm a singer-songwriter and a producer, and I love so much what I do. And it wasn't an easy journey, which we will speak in a moment about it. But what is beautiful is that when you find your purpose, suddenly I realized that all this long journey, like I'm saying in my song that is out now, Calling You, for 40 years, I was walking on trust to find who I am, to rescue your name. So that's how I start the song. It's saying 40 years, now it's 60 years. So we are in a journey
Mhm.
and we have ups and downs all the time. All the human beings in the world, there is no one human being that doesn't have that journey. And if they don't think so, they're in denial,
Yeah.
which is easy to be either in denial or they're so busy, they make themselves so busy that they cannot know even that they are in that space until the universe bring you something and people cannot cope. So
Wait, so
I'm in
you just
that.
told me that it took you 60 years to find your purpose.
No, I found the purpose a little bit earlier,
Okay.
but and I wrote the song when I was 40.
Got it. Got it.
And it's got, the 40 years. I was doing a BA in theology and Jewish studies, and obviously the 40 years has kind of like the Israelite going in the desert, which symbolize, again, if we look at the biblical stories, that they are stories from our life, and we are all in a desert, and we are all as being looking for idols and not really connected to who we are,
Mhm.
always looking to search outside. So I was, in my story here, someone that really stubborn to keep who I am. But to keep who I am is not just to be a singer, is to be an artist. But what happens when you don't know who you are as an artist, when you get so many gifts as an artist? You can sing in Spanish, you can sing in English, you can do dance, you can do jazz. So we have so many different layers in our life to become really who we are. And my purpose is to inspire other people that despite whatever situation they are, no money, no connections, working 9 to 5 job or 24 hours, to find something that was that things that gave them the spark when they were very young, which we will talk about me as a young person, and it just gone because life takes it. Life takes it because of we need the certainty, we need to please our parents, we need so many things, and we forget who we are. So that's me from the start.
Well, it's so funny. I was actually getting, I was at the dentist yesterday, and my hygienist was like, "Oh, I'm turning 40 this year." And I was like, "That's so funny," because I was just talking to my friend who just turned 50. And she was saying like how she loved her 40s. I'm 43. And she said in her 40s, it was really when she discovered herself and really identified who you are. And it's like, it speaks so much to me because I'm only a little bit into it, but I definitely, you have this awareness about you that, you've been through a lot and you know you have more to get through, but it's like this really beautiful 10 years that I'm really excited for. But and it sounds like that was similar for you too.
Yeah, definitely. And in the Kabbalah, which is the mysticism in Jewish, every religion has their own mysticism school. They don't allow people under the age of 40 to study that. Now, this is the religious people. The Kabbalah Center where Madonna study will let younger people. But the reason is there is something kind of mature in us as a human being at the age of 40. And yeah, for me, finding my purpose to inspire people, that gave me suddenly the understanding why the journey
Mm-hmm.
was so long and how wonderful it is that I have the ability to be as I call it as a vehicle, as an instrument, whatever word you want to call it.
What would you say your like genre of music is? Like when you talk about being an artist, like where, like what is your type of music? What kind of music do you write for?
Yes, so of course I'm a singer-songwriter. When you write song, you are a singer-songwriter. But you have the singer-songwriter that with guitar or with piano. I do write all my stuff on piano, but I must say that with all my confidence, and I have a lot of confidence that only through the years I gained it. It's, something that the 10,000 hours makes you be. But where I don't have confidence is playing the piano and sing the same way, I played at the Royal Albert Hall, most important venue in the UK. And I was very confident, but if I need to play piano, I'm less confident, although I write everything on the piano. So now I'm in a most beautiful phase in my life that finally I'm practicing the piano to perfection because it's all about practice.
Yeah.
So I'm going to dive into another layer of who I am. So in the last 10 years, my success singles all were electroacoustic. So I write it on piano, but then you bring electronics. But in the last year, the success was when I'm doing the remixes.
Mm.
There is something about doing remixes that shift the song to unbelievable level and touch more people.
Mhm.
And I found this amazing, honest promoter. She promotes Calvin Harris, David Guetta, the best people. And she just loved my stuff. So my last single was number 9, near Rihanna, David Guetta, and all these people in the club chart. And now with calling you, she sent me a message that it's getting amazing reports. Probably we're going to be there in a day or two after the weekend. So that's it, So I am doing dance remixes right now for 2025 until I have number 1.
I love it. I have no faith you're going to get there. I think one of my main questions is like, at what point in your life did like music become this, special part of your life? And when you knew that that was the path that you needed to take. So if
Yeah,
you
I
can
think
wrap
it's
that
very,
into your journey somewhere.
I think it's very important for your listeners and if there are parents to hear my journey, to hear where my parents could have done maybe better. But again, like I'm saying in my song, I never look back, I never regret. We need to look forward, forward, always forward. So children start to show talent at a very young age. At the age of 2, 3, children already, if they love music, they start to show, to sing, to perform. So at the age of 3, I remember performing on the table of my at my home. And from the age of 3 to 7, I was just singing, and and I was copying a singer that I admire at the time so much. And then it all happened. I went to a local talent competition, all confident. I practice. We all thought, right, it's going to be amazing, but it didn't, because the judges said that I copied the singer instead of being myself, which that's why I became in this life so much myself. But my mother got so upset with the charity that she was volunteering that she left the charity. She was in such a trauma, bringing to me, which caused me to leave music from the age of 8 till 26.
Mm.
So all the time singing in front of the mirror, dreaming to be a singer, singing in the shower, of course, but it's more singing in front of the mirror in hard times and dreaming to become a singer, until one day I went to a karaoke shop. There was a karaoke shop. You pay money and you record. And I wanted to see if the dream I had, if it has something to do with reality. And I did George Michael, Sade, singers that I love because they have that warm, soft voice like myself. And it definitely worked. And I went to the best singer, singing teacher. And I said, if she accepts me, I'm going for it. And she did. And she really loved the low register of my voice and said that I remind her of Karen Carpenter. I didn't appreciate the low register because, we all want to please our family and stuff like that. But again, everything is a journey. Everything is a journey to find. So yeah,
I
that's.
have a quick question for you. Okay, when you were singing other people's song, what was like the one song that you always loved to sing?
Oh, that's a lovely question. So as a child, oh, so there is a difference between as a child that I love Tina Charles. Oh, I love to love. I think, when Bonnie M, this is, no, 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 no. No, no, I've got the answer. I've got completely the answer. Bee Gees, How Deep Is Your Love?
Mm.
I love that song. I'm actually practicing it on piano. I always loved the Bee Gees. But then when I became a singer, George Michael, Careless Whisper was a song that I used to look in front of the mirror and imagine that I'm a singer. And when I was in Mexico City at the age of 17, all by myself, very difficult time. I used to wake up in the middle of the night and sing the song of Fame from the movie Fame.
Mm.
Sometimes I wonder wherever I've been, who I am. So it's amazing that that song is actually words are about my journey. So yeah, so there are different songs,
I love it. Okay, so
different.
you get back to music. You find this beautiful karaoke shop, which is so funny. I did karaoke this weekend, but I am not a singer, and I know this, but it's still fun. So you get back into music, and then what?
And then I was going to a singing teacher to get tools because I didn't. You must go to a singing teacher, to practice your voice. And luckily, the singing teacher loved my voice. What you do as a singer when you start to want to become a singer, you look for songs. So I started to look for songs, meeting a lot of famous producers. They all loved my voice and the low quality, their artistic quality. I didn't appreciate it at the time because I wanted more to be a pop star. And then I realized that I write songs. I write songs, like I compose songs. I always wrote poetry from very young age,
Hmm.
but composing, it's the biggest gift that I got is composing music. So then I do that. And yeah, and you shop around, you go to managers, you go to record companies, and I hear the same story all the time. And the story is you don't need a manager. You don't need. And I was really upset because I do need, everyone need a manager.
Yeah.
But, and the funny thing, when I moved and came to the UK, I heard the same story again. So I did have managers, but somehow I created created the journey that I'm doing it all by myself.
Mm.
And my mother, that sadly she has a very advanced Alzheimer's, so she cannot talk. But when she was the one that pushing me, she said, "No one could tell you what to do, even as a child." So nothing. She couldn't tell me anything. I learned everything on my own. So in my journey, there is. It's a good thing, but it's also something I'm overcoming because it's not a good thing to do all by yourself. You cannot succeed to the level that I know my potential is. And it's not that I didn't have through the years deals and managers, but yeah,
So you're
I
currently doing this all on your own.
I am doing, yeah, with help of some people,
Yeah.
but I just learn how to do it. It's like, so there were PAs and I have managers, and but then it changed. But the good thing, when you learn to do all by yourself, including from makeup to production to editing to social media, you are in control everything.
Hmm.
So when you hire people, you know what you want. So in a way, I've gained such a wonderful experience that, yeah, that gives me the confidence and the power and the control. Look at Taylor Swift. She, with all her money and fame and success, she had to go and remaster all her catalog because the record label took money. So something in me kept always my things. So it's a good thing, but I am changing it in myself. Well, we are a result of evolution. So definitely.
We
Uh,
always say, I always hear this, and you probably can. share your experience on this, that people who want to be an artist or a singer or even an actor, like it's such a saturated market and it's so hard. Like you get told no so many times till you get that yes. Was that the experience that you had as well?
Definitely. So, but it took me years to understand that it's not really rejection. It just you are not the right person for this person at the right time. Because I hire many people as well, from designers to producer to guitarists to people in my video. And I just say no, 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 no. Many of my rejection is the main thing was that people did not know how where to place me,
Mm,
because I rejected to be in a box. So people just don't know what to do. People don't have the same vision. If you are over 20 in my industry, or people that hear, in the acting, entertainment, you don't have much chance.
mhm.
Only if you know inside that you're so good or you're very good and you have something to give, then you keep going, like one of my songs. Keep going.
Well, you even said practicing, right? Like you continue to have to practice, whether that's singing or songwriting or the guitar or what, like anything, you have to keep trying. And so I always tell my son, because he gets frustrated like with soccer, and I'm like, all these famous athletes didn't, become these great athletes just by not trying, like they practice, they live their life practicing. And that's how you get good. And I think sometimes people, you have to put the work in to get to that point.
You need to. And I think what I'm doing now is something, it's refining. It's refining. It's like you bake a cake and it's all mixed, it's all lovely, but the last part of making the cake, the cream, the decoration, and you have to do it as well, so on yourself. So for example, I'm just practicing certain exercise that I got them in 2014 from a teacher that helped Adele when she lost her voice. She's more a doctor. And I went to her because I was nervous before performing at the Royal Albert Hall. And she gave me those exercises and said, oh, you need to sit by the piano every day and just brush it, brush it. I said, what do you mean brush it? But refine it. And only now, from 2014, I'm brushing it.
Mm.
I'm enjoying doing it. So I'm not going to tell myself off. Well done to me. My voice since 2014 became so much stronger because I'm practicing every day when I tidy my flat with certain exercise. But now I'm ready to do what she said and ready to do the piano. Um, yeah, and just become always a better version of yourself.
Hmm. So when you become, I guess you would say famous, or you're more known to others because you sing, or you're in the spotlight. How have you run up against like people on social media or people like talking bad about you or saying mean comments? Like, have you experienced that? And like, how have you overcome some of that?
Yeah, you have experience. In general, I'm a very positive person and upbeat and inspiring, so I don't get much of it. But at the end of the day, not everyone is going to like my voice and my style of music. And when you're like few weeks ago, I really get only once in a while bad reaction, and always you can see someone from, I don't know what kind of country, but not English speaking, and not it's more a spam, but still you see it. So someone wrote karaoke, or so immediately I was okay. thinking, right, someone want me to do karaoke, but it was a negative because he said something else negative. Immediately, you just block him. You don't want negativity in your life, not on social media, not in friendship. I do the same with my friends. Immediately when someone is negative and doesn't support me in my journey, I cut them from my life.
Mm-hmm.
Because we need so much energy to be an instrument, to give to millions and billions of people. I need energy. And a friend that met me from childhood, he actually was my first boyfriend, and he was a drummer, but he chose a solid job, become a manager of music school, getting him the, the certainty.
Mm-hmm.
But he's dying, to be in the spotlight. So a few months ago, and he's a very close friend, he suddenly said to me something like, Tali, when are you going to get real? And he knows about my success already, that I don't need to prove anyone, but obviously my aims are much higher. And we were eating lunch. So he said to me, Tali, when are you going to wake up? I said, sorry? What do you mean? So he said, when are you going to wake up? Like what he meant is either not giving the highest dream that I have in my goals. So you know what I did? I said, I really like you and I really thank you for being there for me when my mother was unwell. So I had challenging 2 years and I really, really appreciate, but you don't have any place to be my friend. He was shocked. And I stood, I went, then he WhatsApped me, he said, Tali, I'm shocked of your behavior. You are living in a movie. I said, it's wonderful to live in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
We all create our life. That's how it is. So this is how loyal I am to myself. But again, it's not something that happened like this. So many people through the years, include the family, you still want the approval, you still want them to ask about your music, about your success. I know they never ask. They don't ask. So don't ask. So no expectation, because when we have expectation from people that are important for us and we don't get it, that's when we get disappointed.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, yeah, I agree. I'm like, these people who always are upset about how somebody makes them feel or they don't, I'm like, don't be around them. Like, why put yourself through that? You should surround yourself with people who are going to support you and love you and raise you up and be there for you and all the things. And I think we as humans get to choose that. Like, we get to choose who's in our life. And it's okay if that person doesn't fit the mold anymore.
Exactly. And when I delete a few people, because it's like I'm going like shifting my gear, going up a notch. So it's like an airplane, goes up and up. You need more energy.
Mm-hmm.
And energy is by the food that we eat and by not wasting it on the wrong people or getting upset. All those things, if someone gets us upset, it just occupies your mind all the time.
Yep.
We don't need it.
I totally agree to that. What during your journey and your career was like one of the most memorable moments for you? Whether that was like on a stage or somebody you met or an experience, like what would you say your number one memorable moment was?
Yeah, the number one, definitely, although being on the BBC playlist when I heard the news, it was great, but performing at the Royal Albert Hall, having my late husband in the first row, he almost waited more than the doctors gave him just to see me there.
Mm.
Uh, so and I practice. He was, a coach and hypnotherapist, and he taught me how much I need to practice because I took my gift for granted for years.
Mm.
So being on the stage, having all this, 5,000 people, having them all, and really, yeah, that was beautiful, beautiful to sing, to see the confidence, to give the love and get the love.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely
Mm-hmm.
the biggest moment.
Who's your biggest idol? Like I feel like we all have somebody we look up to or admire. Who would be that person in your life?
You mean from music
Yeah, and
or
from music.
from music? Right, okay. Uh, I don't have idols. Is probably when I lost the competition at a young age, I kind of stopped having idols probably, but I love Coldplay, the singer. So I always say if I was 30 years or 40 years younger and a male, I would want to be him.
I
So
love
I love his performance, the fact that he changed from guitar to piano, for staying his energy. Definitely like him.
I love that. Through your life, through this journey, through your career, is there anything else that came up along the way that taught you something or, made you think differently or something that maybe like shift? It was a big shift for you.
Yeah, I think my philosophy, I don't think I have that knowledge when I came to London uh, 20 years ago or 30 years ago. I think when I really understood that every difficult situation that occurs to me, from rejection to losing someone, to fighting with someone, uh, any negative situation that I have, or not negative, bad situation, I just turn it. I turn it. I turn it immediately to a plus. And that is something that gives me the ability to thrive, to shine, to give, because when I'm down, and I am down like everyone, I don't give myself. When I'm down, and I'm human. But immediately, I love that how life take power, and yeah, and the next day, it's something new come. And many of my songs, if your audience love to hear my songs, like My River, Keep Going, Raindrops Keep Falling, Beauty of the Duty, so many of my songs are about that, turning the minus into plus.
Hmm.
And free will is about choosing in every moment.
I would love to put your link to your music. I started kind of stalking you on Spotify. But I would love to include that for our listeners to listen in. One of the emails that you had sent when we were first chatting, you had met Lady Gaga and Rihanna. I'm curious to know, this is always a curious question, like who is the coolest artist or experience you had with someone else in the industry?
Yeah, I haven't met them.
Oh,
Uh,
I thought you met them. I was like, oh, good
no, no,
job.
no, no, I haven't met. I was in the same chart with them.
Look, I mean, what an honor, right? I mean, both
Yeah,
of
it is
them.
an
Yeah.
honor and it's wonderful. So I cannot comment, but I must say that when I released Calling You many years ago, not the remix, the PR at the time, and he worked for me as a PA for a short time. He was the person that helped Lady Gaga before she became famous. Used to work for Geffen Records, where she was signed, and used to go with her keyboard to nightclubs. There were not many people. She would play the keyboard. So you see, she is such, first of all, talented but determined. I'm at the age of 61 doing now the piano. She done it all, going to, no, it's not that I didn't play. I played in many, many places with piano, but the picture of seeing her going to nightclubs when it's not empty, she's gone a long way, and they're both wonderful. They're not my type of singers, but I respect people that succeed, and they're both doing good to the world as well with their fame.
One thing I love about your story that's very inspiring is that everybody is in this state of, oh, I'm getting older, or oh, like, oh, I'm in my 40s, or oh, I just hit my 50s. And what's so inspiring me to you is like you're like at almost at your peak, right? And you're 60. And so for me it's very inspiring to know that like my journey isn't over yet and I have so much growing and so much like left in me to be this person and to find myself and to find, you know, what my passion and where I'm meant to be. And so I just want to say like that's very inspiring to me.
Thank you so much. I think that's the most important thing, is that when I came to my 60 and I was worried, I don't have yet my new soulmate. I'm calling you, like in
Yeah,
my
you just did.
single, I'm calling him, and he's there. He's
He's there.
there.
You just manifested that. Yep.
There. I can sense it more and more, but I really, truly believe that I'm only starting my life,
Mhm.
and it's in my head. But it's true. I'm not trying to say it because it sounds good. TikTok has hashtag feel good at 40, feel good at 50. And I'm saying, and then you had a few weeks ago a woman that didn't look 60, looked more. She looked like it was her end of her life, and she was complaining that people hustle her for her age and insulting her. I wonder why. She's in her head. And people say it when they're 40. Oh, I'm getting older, I'm getting
Yeah.
older. It's just crazy. We have so much potential. And that's where I came to this world, to inspire people. Um, and thank you for saying it.
I love that. What do you want to leave our listeners with? Is there anything that like we didn't talk about? Any last tidbit that you would love to leave the listeners with?
Yes, so I like to speak about my remix now that hopefully will get to the chart in the coming week. I'm calling you now, I'm alone, I'm calling you my angel, make me strong. That's a chorus. So I want you all to know that, yes, I am strong, uh, but we all have moments that we break down. And I wrote that song when I was in that stage. First of all, I didn't have the tools of turning the minus to plus like today. I know that it's always going to be okay because I was much more lonely here in the UK, no family, no jobs, all kind of things. But there is something about letting ourselves being fragile
Mhm.
and knowing to ask for help. That's what I want to leave the people, knowing to ask the help in any level. When I was writing that song and asking sincerely for the angel, the universe, whatever you call, I met my late husband. He came to my life and was a very big love. And now, as we know, I'm calling because I'm ready for the next phase of my life. So ask for help. Give yourself to be vulnerable.
Mhm.
But most important, be loyal to yourself.
So good. So good. This is why I love doing my podcast on Fridays, because I always feel like the end of a week and I just get so inspired and so excited to meet women, that are doing really cool things. We will definitely put your information in. How do you get to the top of the charts? Like, what does that mean? And like, I'm always curious, like, how is that, how many people listen to it? Is it how many radio, like, how do you get there?
You have different chart. Right now I'm in the UK in a club chart, like the biggest club chart. So people play my music in the nightclubs. So the DJs report it to a promoter that does David Guetta and Calvin Harris. And I'm in the same category. When I will be in the Billboard, then I will be happy. Then I will know that I fulfill my potential to get to a much wider. And again, it will happen. It has to happen with the right music, with the right time, with the right money that you put. Everything is money as well.
Mhm.
So everything is possible.
Well, I wish you nothing but the best. I have full
Thank
confidence
you.
you'll get to where you want to be. And I think there needs to be more people, even like myself, that are inspiring and that are kind and want people to do well in the world. And so I'm so glad that we got connected. I'm so glad you shared your story on my podcast. So thank you for being here.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for having me.